What's up with it, y'all? What's up? Well, we might as well get right into this video. My boy, Akashic Record Store on Instagram sent me this video. You know, he was like, bro, this is what you was talking about when you seen the screens. And he was like, man, you know, like, you hacked reality. How'd you hack reality? And I'm like, wait, hold on. What is he talking about? Like, I remember, you know, seeing the screens and, you know, everything playing out. Like, I seen that a few times, but he sent me this video, so I'm about to watch it with y'all. I watched up to that point, up to like probably like a little over 3 minutes, but I didn't go no further past that. So I'm gonna get into the video and then I'm gonna explain what he's talking about, this reality hack, because, you know, I feel like that's what we be doing when we have these experiences and we see these different things. We're hacking reality. So it's open your reality. We got a lot of subs. You know, this is how we select a new life in the spirit world. So make sure you like the video if you go and check it out, because I'm not gonna play all this video. I'm gonna play just enough to get to that one point right there. But let's go on and check it out.
Welcome to Open Your Reality. I'm Shad. In this video, I want to talk about the life selection process that happens in the spirit world. Now, I haven't made a video on the spirit world in a while, and I know a lot of you are interested in that subject, so I'm going to explain in this video how we choose a new life for our next incarnation. You know,
hey, it's wild to think about, but like, what if that is like one of the possibilities that we could and can, you know, because like, I feel like we actually, you know, we choosing every life. We choosing every life already, you know, we just can't see it right now being in this body.
You might be wondering how I know this information. Much of it comes from the work of Dr. Michael Newton, who was a past life regression therapist, and his work spanned decades.
I never heard of him. I heard they told me about Dolores Cannon, and I done seen a couple of talks from her, but I never heard the dude.
And he placed well over 1,000 clients under hypnosis. And while under, Dr. Newton could successfully regress his clients to the time between lives, where they were able to give an accurate description of the spirit world. And
hey, that's wow, between lives. You feel me? In between each life, you have this, you feel me, before you get back to doing what you're doing, I guess.
What we learned is that there is this elaborate process that occurs from the moment of death until the time we are reborn as an infant. Now, the idea of reincarnation is probably one that most of my viewers accept, but some of you may find it difficult to believe. Personally,
like it's weird because, like, reincarnation, you know, I think when we put certain words on things of what that is, like, it make people look at it different, because, you know, some people have lived a terrible life and they going, why would I want to come back here? But you know, that's because they don't understand it yet. You know, I don't care what you do, like, you here, you'll be back. To me, that's how I feel. You'll be back. You don't think you would, but in the end, you'll understand.
Speaking, I'm 100% certain that we retain our conscious awareness after death. And there's so much literature and personal testimony out there that it would be almost foolish to discount it. And if you look into it, you'll quickly learn that we don't just die, lose consciousness, and then awake as a baby somewhere else in the world. That's not the way it works.
Hey, that's weird, because I feel like, you know, like, you can die in that energy. If it does go into like a baby starting all over again, sometimes you can pop in and you won't be aware of it until you're like 15, 20, 30, 40. You won't be aware that, you know, this is another life you live in. You know, it's just, you're not aware that this is what you're doing. So, but when it hits you, you're gonna go, oh man, I done did this so many times.
Dr. Newton had to place hundreds of clients under hypnosis before he could formulate a structure to our path through the spirit world. And what he discovered is that there are 10 distinct stages that we move through from death to rebirth. And I've talked about a few of them on the channel before, but in this video, I want to talk specifically about stage 7, which he called life selection. It's true that leaving the spirit world can be a horribly difficult process, as it's our true home. It's a place of love, peace, and wisdom. However, deep down, we know incarnating is the best way to accelerate our spiritual growth. So we go back and live another life. For most of
And like when I be diving, I'll be seeing that one thing that we are outside of this, it knows everything already. It's already being everything. It's being you. It's being me. It's being everybody and everything. It's being this cup. It's being this microphone. It's being this computer. It's being everything already. But when you're individually in your body, you don't feel it. You can't see it because you're here to be this right here. That part of you is here to be this, the fractal, like they'll say. You're fractaling, man.
Of us, that means Earth life, but there are other worlds to incarnate on as well. You could probably think of incarnating as going to the gym or working out. You know it's going to be difficult, you know it's going to be taxing, but it's the only way to increase your fitness and the look of your physique. Reincarnating is the same principle. The fastest growth that your soul can achieve is always found through incarnating into physical worlds. Now, the main responsibility we have in the life selection stage is to reach a place that some of Dr. Newton's clients call the Ring of Destiny.
The Ring of Destiny? The Ring of Destiny? What?
And it appears as a sphere of bright light, and moving into it, we are full of hope and lofty expectations.
Hey, you see, it's a bright light, okay? Remember when I was off the mushrooms and then it was just like quadruple blackness, nothing. It was just nothingness, like period. Like I didn't know anything. I didn't have no, like, wasn't no thoughts. It wasn't anything. It was just real live nothingness. But that even though that nothing was something, because you just being in this darkness, you're not going, oh, why am I in this darkness? Or why is this? No, you're just being darkness, being it. And then boom, this light popped in. And I seen a light over there. So me being nothing or just being in this nothing darkness, I start to go to that light.
For our next incarnation. Now, once we move into it,
that's
we feel
crazy. So that is crazy, bro. Y'all already know the experience. Y'all, you know, when I did that, it was wild, bro. And like, even when I seen dude with his hands in the earth, I went past his hands into the planet, into the earth. I could see out, like I seen people walking and I could go inside of this person and that person. And each time I went in them, I was being that person. Every time I went into a person. And it was like, wow, bro, yeah.
Like we're in a highly futuristic cockpit. Different screens float around us, giving visual impressions of the different lifetimes that we could choose for our next incarnation. And we also have a control panel that allows us to fast forward and rewind the events that will happen in these lives.
And a lot of people have seen this place on psychedelics. Somebody was saying on mushrooms that they were there. And it was a being there telling them, you know, if you want to change it, like, go ahead and change it. And he was like trying to rearrange it because the panels was showing his life. And he was trying to change things, but he couldn't come back until he put it back the way it was. And it was like, whoa, you know, and I've seen it. Like, I've seen it, you know, this. Every time I try to explain what this thing looked like, I kind of take away from it because it's like other things are popping in with that. But all I know is this thing had tentacles and it was like a gang of screens. And each screen was everybody's life. I'm talking about everybody that ever lived, the ones that's living in the future. It was everybody's life going at the same time, side by side. And I'm looking at it like, wait, hold on, no second is different than any other second. And it was fascinating to say the least, but it's other times where I seen the screens all around my head like this. And I'm looking at them and I can see different points in my life in each screen. And then it was another time like I was this king looking like being like, and I was like going like this because I was projecting out of my head, and then it was these little like jewels that were like circled in gold, like it had like a little gold strip around each one, but they had different shapes and they were going around like that, and it was life playing out in each one though. And it was like, oh wow. So I think this is Akashic Record store is talking about this part right here.
Dr. Newton's clients reported the screens having a dynamic, fluid-like movement within the sphere of light, and as we pull up one screen for review, it flows all around us, while the other screens nearby move away. And we also have the opportunity to project into these lives to see and experience them as if they were really happening to us.
And it's wild because when you're viewing it, you're living it. You like when you see these screens, you are these screens playing this thing. You feel me? Like literally everybody, you're like all of them. You're not just watching it, but you're being it at the same time. And it's like, you know, that's kind of trippy. And like I say, the way I did that is I didn't give up. I didn't stop. I kept going. I kept going. I kept looking. I kept searching. I kept diving because I wanted to know more. 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 So it was like a craving that I had that, you know, that craving of just wanting to know is something that we live with. It don't go away. You know, you're always feeding it with these certain desires. You're feeding that thing. And it's like, I kept going. I kept going back and I would pay attention. Or I wouldn't even try to control it got to the point to where I didn't want to control it or try to control it anymore. I just wanted it to be what it was. Okay, I'm just gonna accept what it is. I'm gonna let go of everything I think is. I'm gonna let go of everything, my kids, my relationship with my family, with my girl. I'm gonna let go of all of it, even myself, because myself is this thing. But in order to see that thing, I have to step outside of myself, because myself is gonna keep giving me answers that's gonna kind of throw the thing off. You feel me? So it's like I stepped outside of that, like, because I always thought, you know, like, okay, how come every time we go, like we thinking with this human mind, because we're using this right here to think that right there, or to basically try to explain that thing. And that thing is like the unexplainable. It can't be explained really, but you try to explain it, and when you try to explain it, you're really taking away from it. A person like really has to experience it. You feel me? Like, you can kind of understand it when you're hearing it, but when you experiencing it, you'll see it in everything. In everything you do, you'll see this one thing being this one thing. And that's what the screens were, while they went like all the way far as you can think. And it had every life that was ever lived on this planet inside those screens, telling the story. But each life, James Brown life, Michael Jackson life, if the people did exist from the Bible, Noah, you know, everybody, Buddha, everybody that ever lived playing out at the same time, like each second right on the side of each other second. When Buddha was 3, James Brown was 3, what's his name was 3, Michael Jackson was 3, I was 3, you was 3, everybody was 3 at the same time without even knowing. You feel me? Because of the way that it's playing towards us, the way that we're looking at it, the way that we're perceiving it as we live. You feel me? We'll say past the past, but really not knowing what the past is. And the past is still existing right now. Every moment is always existing. The moments don't stop. They keep going, bro. And I think that's how I actually did it. I kept going back. Despite what happened, how scared I was, the times I cried and it seemed like it was a bad trip, but 3 days later I understand why it showed me that. And then it was like, oh, it wasn't a bad trip. And then after a while, my experiences weren't scary no more. It's just I'm perceiving them as being scary because I'm the one who's controlled. I'm not controlling what's happening, but I'm judging it as it goes. And I'm saying, oh, that's scary to me. Oh, that's beautiful to me. All I want to see is roses. I don't want to see no creature looking thing. Because once I see that and it looks something like a scary spider, it's going to scare me. And it's like, or even my thoughts, cloud what I'm seeing. And once your thoughts get so chaotic when you be off mushrooms sometimes that soon as it jump in, it'll spread like a fungus. And it'll make itself known in many different types of ways if it's a bad thought. And it kind of shows you how we do in real life, how we think in real life. It's like, it's fascinating, but that's how I did it, bro. I just didn't stop. I kept going. Like, despite what I felt or what I thought, I kept going. And it pushed me past a lot of boundaries, because in the experience, it's like basically, who you're trying to get past? You're trying to get past yourself. Like in the journey, you're trying to find and get past yourself. Because the only one that can stop you from going over these hurdles is you. You're the only one that's going to say, oh, well, no. And these are not even the thoughts that you're coming up with. These are thoughts of stories you've been told. Because we take everything from somebody else and we make it gold. So these are things that you've been told. Oh, you can have a bad trip. Oh, this can happen. So all those things that you probably been told, some you could have been told when you was 3 years old, and it won't take effect until now. But it's like, you got to just keep going like life. Despite what trials and tribulations we have in life, we keep going. Despite who we lose, when we got hurt, when this happened, we keep going and we keep playing this thing out all the way until the end. You feel me? That's the same thing with the psychedelic experience to me. And I think, I thank you, Open Your Reality, for this video. And I thank you, Akashic Record Store, for even sharing this video with me. I'm going to go on and finish it, but I'm not going to use this whole video. So I'm going to let you be able to go and watch the video for yourself. And if you see anything I talked about and you run into it somewhere, send it to me so I can do a reaction video to it. So I can, it kind of helps me go more in depth of what I seen and what I experienced, because we experience it in so many different ways. I experienced it through mushrooms, and then these people, they're experiencing it through NDEs, they experiencing it in a whole different way. But it's the same experience, telling the same story, showing the same story being played. And I thank you all for even watching. And I will see you next time. You feel me?